I certainly would agree with the notion that weather is having an influence. One data point to keep in mind, when you looked at the manufacturing survey, which came out earlier this month, the plunge in new orders was the largest we've seen since 9/11. So clearly the weather is having a large impact on manufacturing, many sectors of the economy. That said, it doesn't explain everything. The payroll report in January was weak, but yet we had 50,000 new jobs in construction, which is arguably the most weather sensitive of any industry. So I think the reality is the weather is adding an additional headwind, but we are certainly seeing some slowing from the pickup we had in the back half of 2013. I think it's aggressive. I have to say, Simon, I'm very surprised how much the market has looked past things like the retail sales data, which to some extent was impacted by the weather. But to my mind, a better explanation for that number was very weak income growth, which is not weather related. So I think the market may be a little too optimistic about discounting some of these numbers.
Right. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought the market was poised for a sell-off. My feeling was that sentiment was too positive. Everybody made money last year, no matter what you owned. You may not have kept up with the S&P 500, but you logged in a good profit by year-end. What I thought at the beginning of the year was we would have a decline. We did 5 or 6%. I thought it might be even more than that. I'm not altogether sure it's over, but I do think the year is going to be a good year. Last year, I thought the economy it would be a difficult year for the economy, and it was. The economy only grew 1.9%. I thought that earnings would be disappointing. Profits were disappointing, but there were so many share buybacks.
We've overshot equities. I think are outperforming Asia credit, and that worries me because going into this whole thing, and like 3 weeks ago, Asia credit was underperforming equities. That was an early warning sign for equities, and now that bothers me a little bit. Well, I was on CNBC on Fast Money. We put a buy call on the emerging markets a week ago Monday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I think in the intermediate term, you want to start to lighten up. We've made a heck of we're up 7% in a short period of time. Long term, the emerging markets are fine. Okay. But in the intermediate term, as long as Asia credit doesn't, what I want to see is Asia credit, all of our indicators in Asia, corporations, CDS on, say, Standard & Charter or CDS on HSBC, I want to see that come back to where it was a month ago. And that's going to get me more comfortable with emerging markets, going to get me more comfortable with the S&P 500.